everyone, hope you are doing well in the pink of your health. I'm also fine, and today let's see this session. So here, what do we have in front of us? We have 4 most important problems from Algebra CBSE 10. Some of us pronounce it as Algebra, that's also fine, right? So let's see what do we have in store for us in this session, right? So we all know that it's very important to know who is teaching you as well. So my name is Riddhi. I am a BTech Computer Science gold medalist. I am also a person who has done her master's in English literature, and that too with the gold medal. I was a university topper there too, as I was in BTech. I have also completed my B.Ed in order to understand the psychology of students like you. With a vast teaching experience of 8 years, and with recording more than 4,000 plus teaching videos for 6,000 plus students, I'm sitting here in front of you to explain you about something which is very relevant to your grade 10, and that's about the algebra topics, which are very, very essential to understand, right? So what are those topics that we are going to deal in today's class? Shall we see? Shall we move ahead? Okay, so why not? Let's move ahead, and here we see we have in today's class finding discriminant of a quadratic equation, finding nth term of AP, questions based on ages, and zeros of a polynomial. So I feel that these 4 topics are very, very important, and time and again, if you see the previous year papers also, you'll find that these kind of topics are having questions, and those questions are being repeated time and again in different paper of CBSE and different years of CBSE. So if we might find a question on zeros of a polynomial in one particular year, the very next year the question is twisted and turned and is repeated in some other fashion. Okay, so you might be given zeros and you might have to frame a polynomial, or you might be given polynomial and you have to find zeros. And that is not only the case in this kind of topic. It is also the case for the topics listed above. The same is the scenario for the topics listed above, such as finding discriminant, finding nth term, questions based on ages, and so on and so forth. So with your due permission, my dear students, do you permit me to carry on with today's session? If yes, you can comment down as yes right away. Hey, thank you for the response. The response is welcoming enough and warm enough for me to move ahead with the first topic. What is it? Finding discriminant. So before I teach about discriminant, if you might know about discriminant, please comment down 1-2 lines about discriminant that you know. How would you teach discriminant to a student who doesn't know discriminant at all? So write 1-2 lines about discriminant. Meanwhile, I wait for your responses. Yes, I think most of you are going in the right direction. Yeah, just 15 seconds more for you to express. Yes. Wow. So got some responses which were in the direction of what I was expecting. Let's first understand finding the discriminant through a question. So we understand that, what is a discriminant? Discriminant helps us to decide the nature of roots, right? The nature of roots. And the nature of roots of what kind of an equation we are talking about? We are talking about the quadratic equation, right? How come we know that this is a quadratic equation? The variable that is involved is x, and it has a degree 2 here, right? So that's one thing. Now, in order to solve such kind of a question which asks us to find discriminant, what should we do? We should first write the formula, right? So the formula of discriminant is what? B square minus 4ac. Now, what is b? What is a? This you should know. For a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c, discriminant capital D is calculated as finding b square minus 4ac. Right? Now this is the formula. So that's the first step. Whenever you are asked to find out discriminant in the exam, this might be turning up as an MCQ question in your exam. Then obviously you can solve it in your rough column and directly take the correct answer. or choose the correct answer. But when it is a subjective question, then what to do? The step one is never to miss a formula. Formula in maths, not only with respect to your discriminant or quadratic equation, even in your junior classes, you might have observed that you got the solution right, but you got less marks in that particular question and your friend got more marks. And when you went to the paper evaluator or the teacher who checked the paper, you just handed over the sheet and said, "Ma'am, why did I get 1.5 out of 2 and she got 2 out of 2 in this question?" And Ram said, "Where is the formula?" It is step marking in maths. How many of you remember? If yes, you can just, comment down as yes, we remember. And this happened with us. And this happened even at my time. And this might happen even with the future generation studying maths, I'm telling you. Right? So, here also writing formula is very important. Now we have to solve further. Now see, is this ax square plus bx plus c format? Right? So what is your a? Your a here is 2. What is your b? B is nothing but a. And what is your c? C is minus a square. The major mistake that most of you might do if you don't pay attention is silly mistake. See how ironical. The major mistake in maths is silly mistake. How many of you come down after sitting for a paper and then say, paper अच्छा गया था, paper was good, but I think I made some silly mistakes. And those silly mistakes add up together to reduce the score like anything. Right? So here also that's the story. So let's find out D, that is discriminant, which is nothing but B square. That is B is what? A. So it is A square minus, right? Minus of the formula. Then 4 of the formula. A of the formula. Don't write this A. Write A as per the formula. So that's the value of A. That's 2. Multiply by C. So don't simply write A square. Don't simply write minus A. Write minus A square proper. Now, see. D is nothing but, that's why A square minus minus becomes plus. 4 twos are becomes this and A square. Now this is nothing but 9A square, isn't it? 8A square plus A square, that means 8A square plus 1A square is 9A square. Now, tell me one thing. 9 is a positive number, right? A square is the square of a quantity. Even if A would have been negative, the square of a negative is also always positive. Square of positive is also positive. So does that not mean that your D will always come out to be greater than 0? Tell me, yes or no? Write it down in the comments, yes or no. So 9A square will always be greater than 0. And since 9A square will always be greater than 0, which is the value of D, so your D will always be greater than 0. Are you understanding? Are you following what I'm saying? Yes or no? You can write down yes if you are following what I'm saying. I'll be glad. Right? Wonderful. So now there is something which I need to tell. And that thing is the nature of roots. And the nature of roots is very important. Okay. So when D is greater than 0, that means you will have a particular type of root. But before that, see the question again. What was the question asking? The question was asking only to find the discriminant and not any nature or anything. So you will simply write 9A square is the discriminant. Right? So this question is done here. But is this the only thing? No, because we should know more about the discriminant. The question is over, but I need to give you more information about the discriminant. So my dear students, D is calculated in what way? D is calculated as B square minus 4AC we just discussed. Right? This is for which kind of an equation? For a quadratic equation with the general formula AX square plus BX plus C. Okay? Now, here, D can be there are 3 possibilities with respect to D. One is what? One is that D can be greater than 0. The other is D can be less than 0. The other is D is equal to 0. Okay. Now, D greater than 0 means what? D greater than 0 means there are 2 real solutions possible. Okay. D equal to 0 means there is just one real solution possible. And D less than 0 means there are imaginary solutions possible. Okay, got it? If yes, please type in a yes. If you have got these three things, please type in a yes. Yes. Now, two real solutions and that too unequal. One real solution, but quadratic must have two solutions. So that means that one means both are equal. Got it? Okay. Now, this is what I wanted to tell you. Now, I hope if there is a question on discriminant, you will be able to solve yes or no. Are you confident? Just write yes if you are. Wow. And how many of you are too excited about the next topic? Great. Chali. Let's move to the next topic then. Finding nth term of an AP. Finding nth term of an AP. Now for this you need to know certain things, but before that we need to see a question probably which will help us understand this very easy. Isn't it? Let's see. The sum of first n terms of an AP is 3n square plus 4n. Find the 25th term of this AP. So firstly, what is AP? AP is arithmetic progression. We'll know more about AP. I know this much you already know. So we'll see that. First, let's write the general formula that we usually use in order to find the nth term of the AP. What is it? It is written as Tn, or you can even write it as An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So for an AP with general terms as A plus D, A plus 2D, and so on up to A n, which is the last term, right? And here it can be A n minus 1. This is the general formula, where A is your first term, right? And D is your common difference, right? So this we should know in order to solve this further. Now the general formula we've already written. Every time in the previous question also I taught you that writing the formula is very, very important. Before that you should not move, right? Now see, we are given the sum of first n terms of an AP. This is talking about the general formula for calculating the number of terms or the last term, but we are talking about a question which is talking about the sum. So which formula to use and what to use, we will have to see. So first let's find out that given is what? Given is 3n square plus 4n, and that is for your Sn, right? Now let's find out firstly AP 25. That means the 25th term we need to know. Listen to me now. If there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms, right? See, the sum of 3 terms is this plus this plus this. The sum of 4 terms is this plus this plus this plus this. In order to find out the third term, what do you have to do? Subtract these two results, right? So you will write AP4 minus AP3. That means till 4th first you take the sum, then till 3 you take the sum, and then you minus. So same we are going to do here, right? So what we will be doing is AP25. So AP25 or SN or APN, both of them can be written like this, right, is equal to 3 into 25 square plus 4 into 25. Why? Because your n is here 25, AP25. Now, how do you get this? So you solve it as you will get 1875, 25 cube multiply by 3, and 25 fours as is 100. So 1975. This is one result. Got it till here, everybody? Yes or no? If you don't understand, please write I didn't understand. I will explain again. So see, I'll repeat again because this seems to be a bit logically troubling concept. Don't worry. So if you are given sum of few terms and you have to find that particular term, you need to subtract it. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, and I have to find the third term, right? So I have these 3 ka sum, I have these 4 ka sum. I'll just put the accessories and all that. I have these 3 sum, I have these 4 sum. In order to find this, what will I do? Subtraction between all these 4 and this. That's what I'm doing. So I first found AP25. Now what is my next thing? Now I need to find AP24. In the similar fashion, AP24 is what? 3 into 24 square plus 4 into 24. By the way, did we do a mistake in the previous step? No, not 25 cube. I think I spoke by mistake 25 cube. It was 25 square. Now, what is 24 square? 576 or what is it? Right, so you will have to see that yourself. Multiply by 3 is your nothing but going to cost you something, and then you will also have to do 4 into 24. Now you all quickly write the result. Let me not calculate, you all write the result. Yes, very good. We have fastest finger first in our session, isn't it? Quickly multiply. It is 1, 8, 2, 4. Wow. Now, I already told you subtraction has to be performed, didn't I tell you? Yeah. So, perfect. In order to find out this AP25 minus AP24, the answer or the result can be found out by subtraction of equation number 2 and 3 respectively. So, 1975 minus 1824. What is the answer? Quickly write down the result. Subtraction, simple subtraction. 5 minus 4 is 1, 7 minus 2 is 5, 9 minus 8 is 1. This is the answer. So the 25th or the 24th term, 25th term is 151 of this AP. How many of you understood? Please, please, please quickly write yes, we understood. Very good. Now let's know more about AP. So basically AP is what? AP is arithmetic progression. Right, and we understand that we need to know certain things from an exam point of view. One is that Sn formula, n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d, where n is number of terms, Sn is sum of n terms, a is the first term, d is the common difference. Sn can be also calculated as n by 2 a plus an. Why? Because your n by 2 will still remain as it is. Your an's formula we already studied, right? General term formula is a plus n minus 1 into d. So if you see, technically a plus a will become 2a. So you will come back at this formula. So these two, formula number 1 and 2 are for Sn. For an we already saw, this is the formula, an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, right? AP can be a topic which can be an easy to score topic, I believe, because it is more formula based. See, when it is more formula based, you just need to apply the formula. Right? So do not lose your marks in such kind of a topic. Please don't lose your marks in such kind of a topic. Okay. Let's move back to our topic list. And here we have next question based on ages. You know, while I was a child, what I used to do, I used to play with my friends and I used to play what we now understand as a part of quantitative aptitude. I'll tell it in Hindi and then I'll tell it in English as well. So, I used to ask कि मेरी चाची के मौसे के बेटे का फूफा क्या लगता है, right? Who is my aunts, sisters, grandmothers, mothers, all that, right? So that's something which is a part of quantitative aptitude. Similarly, in a playway method, if you have younger siblings at your home, you can play such kind of a questions. Like 5 years from now, I will be 3 times this, something like that. So that's those kind of questions we are talking about, questions on ages. And they are not only interesting, they are important from your exam perspective, from the algebra topic as well. How many of you did not know this and you found that, oh my God, this is a playway technique to learn? Yeah. Okay. So this is one thing that you should be knowing. Very, very particularly understand that this is something which you should be knowing. It is based on equations. It is not unimportant. 7 years ago, Varun's age was 5 times the square of Swati's age. 3 years hence, Swati's age will be 2/5 of Varun's age. Find their present ages. Present ages means what they are, how many years old are they right away, right now. Okay. So now, 7 years ago, Swati and Varun, we are talking about that. So let us assume Swati's age is X years. Let one person's age has to be taken as a reference. Let's take Swati's age as X years. right? So this is the Swati's present age that we have assumed. Now with respect to Varun, we are talking about 7 years ago. So Varun's age 7 years ago was what? Varun's age 7 years ago was 5 times the square of Swati's age. So Varun 7 years ago was Varun 7 years ago was means equal to 5 times square of Swati's age. Square of Swati's age. Right? So I'll tell you again. Varun's age, we don't know. We will have to take it out with respect to Swati's age. Varun's age was Varun's age 7 years ago was means I don't know why this happened. That is equal to 5 times means 5 multiplies square of means square. Swati's age means x square. Got it? Right? So that means if I have to talk about the present age of Swati is what? Present age of Swati is what? Okay. So again, let's see the question. Do you think Swati's age as x years was the present age? Did we not do a mistake and nobody pointed me out? I deliberately did a mistake in order to understand your focus. See, here this fragment of the question is only talking about 7 years ago. So here if you are keeping x as Swati's age 7 years ago, so how can this age be present? Swati's age x years was 7 years ago, my dear friends. 7 years ago, Swati was x and Varun was 5x squared. Did we understand this now? Right? And 3 years hence and present age. So see, 7 years ago, past, this is present and this is future. And future is 3 years hence. Right? So now let's see. Swati's present age is what? If I say her age 7 years ago was x. So now her age 7 years ago, that time frame, you know, past, present and future. So the present is 7 years ahead plus 7. So this is plus 7 years, agree? And Varun's age 7 years ago was 5x square. Now it is 7 years ahead. So it is plus 7 years. Agree? Everybody agrees? Yes, please comment as yes. Very good, right? So now, according to question, what is required? According to question, now we are talking about 3 years hence. That means 3 years later. So we have to also think in that regard. So according to question, 3 years hence, that means plus 3 years. Swati's age will be 2 by 5, 2/5 of Varun's age. And this is what? 3 years later. Right? So if you see Swati's age, now in the previous slide we saw present age is x plus 7. So after 3 years, it will be 7 plus 3 should become 10 here. Right? And here also if it is plus 3, so it should also become 10. So if I have to, think about the fact that 3 years hence, her age will be x plus 10 and Varun's age will be also how much? 5x square was initially plus 7 plus 3 is plus 10. Got it? Now cross multiply, so it is 5x plus 50 is equal to 10x square plus 20. Solve it further. 30 is equal to 30 is equal to 10x square minus 5x. You take 5 common, so you have 6 is equal to 2x square minus x. So this is one equation that you have got, right? Or you can also write 2x square minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. How many of you have just got this answer and you feel that till here we have understood? Please write yes. And if you don't understand, please ask me. Comment down yes. Very good. Shall we move ahead? Yes. Okay. So we are moving ahead. We already have an equation. and that is a quadratic equation. What was it? 2x square minus x is equal to 0. What we can do now, we can find the solution to this by three methods. One is splitting the middle term or the factorization. Second is quadratic formula usage. Third is completing the square. Now you all tell me which all method should I use? Which method should I use out of these three? The majority comments, I will use that method. Yeah, so the first usually that we have learned in our childhood times is splitting the middle term or factorization. Let's do that. So for that, you need to do 2 into 6, that is 12. So 12 as the product and just 1 as the addition or subtraction is possible with respect to these two factors, because 4 3s is 12 and 4 minus 3 is 1. Right? And because we want a minus sign here, so the greater term has to be a minus sign. Let's take 2x common, we have x minus 2. Let's take 3 common, we have x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 2, or 2x is equal to minus 3. So x is equal to minus 3 by 2. Now you tell me one thing. We had assumed what was x? What was x? Let's see. In the previous things, x was 7 years ago, Swati's age. 7 years ago, Swati's age. Can age be negative? No. So this is completely reject. So you will accept only the answer as x is equal to 2. So Swati's age 7 years ago. But do we need the Swati's age 7 years ago or the present age? We need present age. So that is present age of Swati is what? X plus 7. That means 2 plus 7, which is 9 years. Isn't it? Isn't it 9 years? And if you see Varun's age, please calculate Varun's age on your own now. Please calculate his age on your own. Remember, 5x square was his age 7 years ago. You have to do 5x square plus 7. I have given you the hint as well. Very good. 5x square plus 7 is 27 years. So these are the two answers to this question. And I hope you understood. If understood, please write yes. Wow. So more on word problems is what? I want you to know that with respect to ages, one should know that you might be asked questions like this that we did, right? Wherein too complicated past, present, future, all is there. Or else what you can be asked on word problems is not only ages, you can also be asked related to time, speed, distance. You can be asked related to your, time and work. So please make sure that framing the equations is very important, and it doesn't matter that you solve the final quadratic equation using which method. It can be either by, the factorization, that is splitting the middle term. You can also do a quadratic formula thing. Last but not the least, you can also come up with completing the square. Any of these three, the only thing is if it is age, if it is distance, if it is time, you should understand that they are not never negative. Okay, so you can reject one answer and accept the other one. Got it? Yes. Last but not the least, zeros of a polynomial. So what are zeros? Zeros are nothing but the roots of the solutions. We'll know more about it. But before that, let's see this question. If PQR are the roots or the zeros or the solution of cubic polynomial, we have directly come to cubic for you, right? So difference between cubic and quadratic is what? Quadratic must be till here only, right? The variable's degree or the highest power is just 2, not more than that. But in cubic, it is 3. Got it? Now, PQR are the roots of a cubic polynomial. What will be P plus Q plus R? So, this is talking about sum of roots, right? Now, sum of roots is calculated as in a cubic equation. You should know how is it calculated as. So, as I wrote general conditions, so there are certain general conditions that you must know. And that will help you understand things. So, basically for a cubic polynomial p of x, which is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, that's already given, where a belongs to, where a is, not equal to 0, a is not equal to 0, then what is there? Then we already know that the sum of roots, which is your p plus q plus r, is calculated as minus b by a. That means minus b by a. For example, had the question been 2x cube plus 3x square plus 5x plus 8, and I had asked you what is p plus q plus r, assuming p, q, r are the three roots, you would have directly told me without even calculating or coming up with the roots that ma'am, it is nothing but minus of b by a, minus 3 by 2. That is the answer. Got it? So in this question, because it was a generic thing, it is minus b by a. But such questions that, that example I have taken below, these kind of questions come in 1 mark. Have we understood right? Yes, please. Please write a yes. Thank you. Now, more about this. So, if you know that there is a cubic polynomial, right, such that a is not equal to 0, then there are three things, and assume that p, q, r are its roots or the zeros, because we need to have three zeros for a cubic polynomial. So what is sum of roots? That is p plus q plus r. What is sum of roots taken two at a time? pq plus qr plus rp. And what is the product of roots? These three you need to know. Okay. So sum of roots, I already told you in the previous slide, that is minus b by a. Sum of roots, product of roots taken two at a time. This is called as product of roots taken two at a time, is calculated as your c by a, and the product of roots overall is calculated as minus d by a. Okay, so these three formulas you must remember because they are usually asked as your 1 mark questions. Okay, and what is one easier way of remembering it? That it is always upon a firstly in the denominator. So it goes 1, then 2, then 3. So for the first formula it will be b by a, then it will be c by a, and in the third it will be d by a with alternate signs. So first it is minus, then plus, then minus, minus, plus, minus. How many of you got it? Please, please, please just do a thumbs up. Raise your hand. And that brings me to the end of the session. So let's see, what did we actually see in the session. We saw finding the discriminant of a quadratic equation and the term of an AP, questions based on ages and zeros of a polynomials, right? So see, in the discriminant of a quadratic equation, we understood that application of this formula is so important in order to understand the nature of roots, right? You may be asked to solve an equation and asked to find out the roots, but actually it may have imaginary roots. So you can directly, in certain questions it is told you, I'll tell you a sample kind of a question. Find both the roots of the quadratic equation or both the real roots of the quadratic equation if they exist. So that means they want you to find discriminant first. See if it is coming out to be less than 0, stop it there. If it is coming out to be greater than 0 or equal to 0, then you think about it. Finding nth term of the AP. Nth term of the AP is what? General term of the AP. Right? Usually based on this formula, we actually saw two formulas, Sn and Tn. Tn's formula is also called as An's formula. And Sn is basically having two formulas. One is your n by 2 a plus an. And the other has An's formula opened up. So a plus n minus 1 into d. Along with this, a will become 2a and n by 2 is still outside, right? And this an or tn is general term. Next is questions based on ages. So based on ages means you have to calculate the age, right? And you can be asked about the present age, you can be asked about the age 7 years hence. Now here, hence, later, ago, before, present, now, these words pay a lot of importance and attention you should pay to them because they will decide. If you might mistakenly read 7 years hence as 7 years ago, you know what will you do? A huge blunder. And we don't want you to do that kind of a huge blunder. Right? Zeros of a polynomial is about finding the roots of a polynomial or the solutions of a polynomial. And I believe you understood. Thank you so very much for being in the session throughout. I'll see you next time with more interesting information. Thank you very much.